Hello, people of the world. I hope you're all doing lovely today. For this episode of Coffee Chats with Jax, I have been inspired to share a very personal experience with you all. Like I'm sure many of you guys can relate, I am not proud of many parts of my past. I'm really not proud of the things I used to do to try and find acceptance and happiness in the people around me and the things I was doing. But what I do know is that there is power in sharing the dark parts of your story that you so desperately want to hide. So I've decided to give that a chance. It was a little bit over a year ago when I found myself curled up in a blanket, lying on the ground, outside of whoever's house we were partying at that weekend. I was alone, cold, and I just felt hollow. But why? It really didn't make sense. I was at a perfectly decent party with all the cool kids. They were all there too. I was dancing around on chairs, laughing harder than I ever thought would be possible, only pausing the fun for the way too many shots that we kept being told to take. When was it too many? I don't know. As long as I felt important enough to be there, I don't think it really mattered to me. And the guys that were there, okay. I did the best I could to get their attention. We'll just put it that way. Not really sure why I thought I needed it though, because once I got the attention, I had no idea what to even do with it. I just wanted to be the life of the party, and you know what? In the distorted place my mind was in, I really thought that I was. Before I knew it, I was being dragged out into the garage where all the stoners of the party were smoking more weed than they knew what to do with. This is Jackie. My friend introduced me to the guys out there. She said, "You'll love her, she goes really hard." What? No, I don't. What does that even mean, and why couldn't I say anything? Why was I hiding behind the shell of what everybody else wanted me to be? What happened to the real Jackie that used to collect snow globes and eat Lucky Charms in the dugout during softball practice? Why was I trying so hard to be this girl that I didn't even recognize, nonetheless respect? So there I was, just wrapped up in my blanket on the ground. The reason I was out there was because I was hiding from the guy I was supposed to hook up with that night. I was just hoping my friends wouldn't find me outside, pathetic, alone. But why was I crying? Wasn't this all what I thought I wanted? Why was there this empty feeling just flooding my whole body? Looking back at that night and so many others in my past just like it, I get really sad for old Jackie. She was just trying to find love and acceptance, and who knew what her identity was? She's just looking to find it. She was just doing the best that she could to try and fill that void that she had in her heart. How do we fill that hollowness? How do we find that acceptance that we think we need to feel good enough? That's really all I wanted, was to be good enough. The parties and the drinking and the boys, that's just how I thought I was gonna get it. If there's one thing that I know in this world, it's that that empty void and hole in our hearts was put there for a reason. And our inability to satisfy that feeling has so much purpose as well. Because you guys, the truth is we can't do it on our own. No party, no boy, no amount of alcohol is ever gonna fix that. The only thing that will fill that gap is the unconditional, divine, perfect love of Jesus Christ. You see, the world has this way of tricking us, because it knows exactly what we want and it reels us in by giving us this cheap, temporary version of the real thing. The hustle for acceptance is all just a lie, because you know what the truth is? We already are. We know how much God loves us, and we put our faith in His love. God is love, and all who live in God. It's hard for us to share these dark parts of our stories, because we really just want to forget it. But I believe that it is so important to hold on to our stories and share them, because they make our testimony. Our stories are what makes the gospel real. Without the bad, how can the transformation that Jesus does in our hearts have its glory that it deserves? It's when we look at those dark times that Jesus pulled us out of, that's when we can appreciate the depth of His grace. We are so loved. Whether we are a crying drunk mess wrapped in a blanket or sitting in a Bible study on a Thursday night, the love and grace that Jesus has for us never changes. Don't throw away your stories and try and forget. You never know whose life can be saved because of it. Wow, thank you guys for watching this video. That felt very freeing for me to tell you. Wow. If you guys support what I'm doing here and want to find out how to get more involved or how to make your stories heard or just have some encouragement, please go watch my last video. I'm going to put a link to it right here, and there's also going to be links in the description box below. If you watch that video or if you visit the Patreon page that I just created, you can find out how to get more involved. I'm going to put a link to my Patreon right in the description box below, so please check that out. It's so important to me that you do. We're in this together, you guys, and through that we can create a family. Okay guys, I love you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!